Hi, Fashion Dolls. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to an all-new episode of Stevie. We are giving you guys two shows today. This is the first one. And joining me today is a writer and actor. You might know him from his roles in Barbershop, The Next Cut, and Freshman Year, as well as Stepping Back to Love. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, is Diallo Thompson. So if we go out, we're going to take this interview to Facebook. But as you all know, today's show is sponsored by Exclusive Beauty Hair Store. Johnny will be joining me at 4 p.m. today. So make sure you guys tune in for that. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and share this live and let everyone know that we are on Fashion Dolls. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. Hopefully everything runs smoothly. I had to reboot my phone. But joining me today is actor and writer Diallo Thompson. And ladies and gentlemen, he's here. So let's get into this interview. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Docs. How are you? Uh-oh, we went out for a second. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
I can
yeah.
hear you.
We good. We good. We good.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Dollhouse. It is such a pleasure to meet you. I remember
I'm
seeing
here.
you in Barbershop, The Next Cut, alongside some of the greats, Ice Cube, Cedric the Entertainer, and of course, my girl, I love her so much, Eve. Nicki Minaj was also in the film as well. Common was in the film, and you worked next to Michael T. Rainey, who's on the Power Book on Stars. So shout outs to him as well. So tell everyone, for those of you who don't know, how did you get your start into acting?
Well, I actually started when I was 8 or 9 years old. It was basically my older sister. Her name is Jamila Thompson, and she started acting before me. And she was just doing auditions around the city of Atlanta, and she booked a role for Tyler Perry's House of Pain. And I just grew up like watching her like do it first. You know what I'm saying? Like she was on Single Ladies and Being Mary Jane, Teen Wolf, The Voice, all types of different stuff. So I grew up watching her do it, and I just was really into it. We have a really like artistic family. My dad, he used to be in a band back in the day, and he's really into film, and we would always go to movies together and shoot our own little skits, growing up. And I told my parents I wanted to get into it too. And so I started off with just like plays, theater, at school, all that kind of stuff. And I just moved my way up, kept doing more theater around Atlanta, got my agent, and that's how it started.
Hello to everybody that's watching. Shout outs to my castmate. I also did some acting myself. I just recently did a horror film. Shout outs to Alex Jonte Productions. The Assistant to Reconnecting will be dropping on Amazon Prime October 1st. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And that's me and Lamar's birthday month with Scorpios, for those of you who
Hey.
don't know. So 10/31/21. Remember that date. I'll be 28 this year. Lord, I'm getting old. Okay, so you've started your acting career. You started out at the age of 8 and 9 years old. For people out there to start off that young, to have that drive, to have that passion and that willpower, and you picked up the acting bug because you said you come from a family who is artistic and creative, as well as myself. My brother, for those of you who don't know, did work with a record company. So it kind of rubbed off on me, to get into journalism and kickstart to just do interviews and this platform. So
Mm.
yeah, it all happens perfectly. And then fast forward, we see you in Barbershop and Freshman Year and all these other films and projects. My next question for you is, do you ever see yourself directing and behind the lens, more so in front of the lens?
Absolutely, absolutely. I actually have a production company. It's called Vera Visuals. I started it like 2 years ago, but even before that, like, it's a funny story. Before I booked Barbershop, I was with my agent, but I wasn't getting any auditions and I wasn't booking, and I was getting a little discouraged, you know what I'm saying? So, my dad had came up with the idea for me to do a web series, and we called it Diallo's World. So I helped to shoot it, and help to edit it, and to write it and all that stuff, come up with the ideas. And I think we shot like 4 or 5 episodes. We had this big event in the city. I invited my agent, invited a bunch of people we knew, had them come and see it. And my agent was like, Diallo was actually a really good actor. Like, I didn't even know he was that good. And after that, she started sending me way more stuff. And then eventually I ended up booking the Barbershop movie. So, like, that without, I love both sides of the camera. I love to actually create and to be in front, and ever since then, I shot more stuff, more short films, skits, and I started my business. So I actually shoot other people's stuff now too, as far as producing it, editing it, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I love it.
Okay, one more thing people don't know about you is, since you fall from that talented background again, you do music as well too. I seen the music video. You was out there on that basketball court. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into music?
Honestly, originally I got into music because I love Michael Jackson, and I used to try to learn all the Jackson 5 songs, and I used to have a super high voice, so I was singing them. And when I got into acting, I started doing a lot of musicals as well. So I was dancing, singing, learning choreography. I loved to dance. I got into songwriting. So acting helped me find my love for music. And eventually, I've got my own studio at the house, and I started writing music and recording stuff. And at first, it wasn't great, but I just loved doing it. And then once I got to high school, I met a couple guys I met a dude, he was a producer, and I met another guy, he was an amazing singer. And we got together in the studio one day. It was like, let's make a group. Let's make a group together. And so, like, throughout high school, I was like in a group, and we was putting out music, and everyone in the school was messing with us like, yo, y'all are so talented. Like, y'all sound like real artists. Like, y'all are gonna make it. Y'all need to do this, this, and that. And we was going to the studio and performing around Atlanta. And we eventually did break up, which is kind of how groups go. That it just happens like that. So after that, I was like, all right, I kind of got in the groove of learning how to create music and structure it, and what my weaknesses and my strengths are. So ever since then, I've been making music. And actually, for the movie that I have freshman year on Netflix, I heard the producer talking about needing a soundtrack on set. So I told him, I was like, hey, like, I actually make music too. Like, I could send you some stuff. I sent it to him. He loved it. So he sent me a bunch of different topics. Like, hey, I need you to make 5 different songs about these different topics. And if they're good, we'll put them in a movie. So I actually have 3 songs in the movie. And one of them was the Ball Up song, which is, I think, the music video that you saw. And that song is actually in the
Yes.
movie on Netflix. So that's like my first placement as well. So, yeah.
And it's a completely different transition from Lil Kenny and Barbershop to now you going to college in this film. And then I can't really give away the whole scenario, but let's just say somebody got pregnant in the film, allegedly.
Yeah.
So, so it's a completely different scenario. So I love how you and other actors are very multifaceted, because I'm going to use, let's say, Viola Davis and Jennifer Lewis as an example, Angela Bassett too. Like, when we see these women on camera, portraying particular roles, it's normally like the heroist type character, you know, the motherly figure or a woman that's in charge of doing something. Even on the actor side, Denzel Washington, I love how he is capable of being multifaceted as well too with various characters. And that's what I love about you as well. Which brings me to my next question. Now, I know you work with some of the greats, as we mentioned in the beginning of the interview, Eve, Ice Cube, Nicki Minaj, who else? Cedric Dean and Turner, so
Yeah.
many of them. If you could
Anthony
collaborate,
Anderson.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Common was in the film as well, so I mean, it
Common.
was
Yeah.
just an all-star studded cast. My
Mm.
question for you is, if you could work in a project, who would be your dream collaboration? If you could work with any actor or actress, who would be your desire to work with?
Mine would be two different people. One is Will Smith, for obvious reasons. Legend. I could relate to him because he started off in rap and hip hop and transitioned into acting, which is kind of opposite. I started with acting, transitioning it to music, but multi-talented person, big personality. I could just relate to him. You know what I'm saying? I really can. And then the second person would be Leonardo Dicaprio. He's probably my
Ooh.
favorite actor ever. I love almost all his movies, and he's a big reason why I wanted to, like, a big influence on me as far as what I like, as far as acting and what I kind of lean towards. So yeah, it would definitely be those two. I love though Leonardo. He's so great. He's obviously huge, but I still think he's underrated. Anyway, like, so yeah, it's definitely those two.
The Wolf on Wall Street, that's an interesting choice because every actor or actress that I've asked that question, they said either Will Smith, they said Taraji P. Henson. Those were some of the choices from the past interviews when I've asked that particular question. Angela Bassett has been one of them. So
Mm.
Will Smith is definitely one of the top choices. He is definitely that. So Queen Latifah is another one too. And I love how they're capable of balancing it out with the music career and the acting career as well too, because it's not easy. So for you, how do you find your balance with doing the music? Because you said you did the film freshman year and then you
Mm.
did the soundtrack for it as well too. So how do you find that balance of doing the music and acting?
Well, I mean, with the music, it just comes easy for me because it's something that I love to do. So I'm constantly thinking of stuff and listening to beats and, you know, just trying to work with people and going to the studio with my friends. And whenever I have something that I really like, then I'll start working on, because I already have a production company. So it actually helps me in the way where it's like I can help shoot, if I need a music video done or anything like that, I could shoot it, and also when I like to actually combine the two. So I have a movie that I shot, it hasn't come out yet, but it was actually a musical that I made, and me and my sister actually star in it. And we actually put our own music in the musical. Um, and so for me, it's all entertainment. Like music and movies, they're intertwined with each other anyway, in my opinion. Hence, you see people like Will Smith, Donald Glover, Queen Latifah, Ice Cube, people who have transitioned from music or from acting to music or vice versa, or do both, because to me, they're very similar. The way they make you feel when you're the creative process, all that stuff, it goes hands in hand, and you would never want to watch a movie without some great music on there. So, and then music is enhanced by visuals and storytelling. So to me, it's actually pretty easy to do both because I love to do both, and they intertwine so easily. So if I have a great song, and let's say I'm gonna shoot a short film, I can say, man, this song will go great on this part of the short film, and I could kind of cross promote that way. So I love both, and people always ask me like, what do I love more? And it's a tough decision because I really do love both of them so much. Um, and honestly, I wouldn't be able to pick. Like I said, they go hand in hand for me. So
Okay. Hi, Ursi Boo. Hey, sweetie. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Style by Stevie. Which brings me to my next question for you as well, too. Um, where do you see yourself going with your career? Because I see so much more for you in the future, and
Mhm.
so much coming for you in the stars. I know it's been very, very difficult for a lot of actors out here with this thing going on, this pandemic going on, and shows having to do limited taping with social distancing and not having to cross paths on set. It's been very, very difficult, just a huge setback. What has
Yeah.
this pandemic taught you thus far that you've learned then and now? And where do you see yourself with your career in the next few years?
Well, I guess I'll answer the pandemic question first. And the pandemic definitely taught me that anything could happen. If it taught me anything is that anything could happen, so you have to just be appreciative of what's transpired already. You got to be appreciative of the people who care about you, your family, your friends, because anything could happen at any time. So you just have to be appreciative, and you also have to just be ready. You know what I'm saying? Being prepared for the worst to happen or the best to happen. Being prepared, all that kind of stuff. Because anything, all this crazy stuff happened in 2020. Stuff that I never thought that I would see in my lifetime. Because I'm only 22. Like I haven't like I never thought that I'd see some of this stuff. It's crazy, but peace of mind is extremely important. You know, Making sure that you have things that you love to do. The hobbies that I love to do have helped me keep my mind right. Keep me sane, keep me going. So that's definitely what the pandemic taught me. And as far as where I want to be 10 years from now, it's definitely, I want to build up my production company. I want to eventually be able to create double A and triple A films and be able to create the kind of films that I want to see, in the future. As well as I would love to, even before 10 years, but I would love to, I want to book a series regular in a TV or a Netflix show or some sort of show. Because all throughout my career so far, I've mainly done movies. Movies have been like the thing that I've done. If you look through my whole resume, I've done a lot of movies, and it's great and I love it and it's an amazing experience. But I would love to get on like a series where I don't have to do the shoot and then it's over and then it's like, well, that was great. And then you just move on with your life. Like, it's great either way, but those two things are probably the two things I would love to do because as a Black creator, I really want. Like, what's up, Brandon? He was actually one of the people that was in my group back in high school. But anyway, the kind of stuff that I really love, like to create, is like different stuff. Fantasy or epic stories or just different stuff that you don't usually see in our community created. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I love people like Jordan Peele, who are not afraid to step outside the box and tell our stories, but we have so many more stories that haven't been told yet. And and that's one of the things that I want to be able to do with my production company later is to be able to tell these, like, where is our Black version of Harry Potter? Where is our Black version of Lord of the Rings? Where is our version of Star Wars? Like, we have these amazing, unique stories too, you know? And I want to be able to be one of the people that help push that forward, to the mainstream. So, yeah.
And I agree with you 100%, Alo, because that's something that I've been pushing for on my platform as well too, and that is more representation. When I originally created Style by Stevie, because I started off at the age of 16 years old. I'm an old woman now. I'm 27, but I started this platform off saying I want to be the voice for Black women. And I said, I can't just leave the Black men of this community out as well, too. We need a platform where everybody can come together and their voices are heard, whether it's music, whether it's fashion, whether it's entertainment, doing the news, whatever it is. I make sure that I provide that here in this particular space. So when we talk about representation, we have to make sure that we're being inclusive all across the board. So that's why I invented Style by Stevie, which was back in 2016 after I graduated high school. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's 10 years strong now. So I love people who start a dream and they're consistent with it and they just keep going with it and they don't give up. And I'm sure you've made, a lot of strides since that first year, like I can only imagine.
Yes, Lord. We're now in 247 shows, like from Facebook to here. Like the interviews and the shows are building up. So shout outs to my co-host Johnny, who'll be joining me at 4, you guys, because I
Hey.
know you guys are wondering. So definitely tune in for that. But my next question for you is, out of all the characters that you portrayed, from Kenny and Barbershop to your character in freshman year, which character do you get recognized for the most? Because I'm seeing some of the audience saying, how old is your daughter in freshman year?
Yeah, yeah. It's probably freshman year, I would say. Just because for freshman year, that's my first main role where I'm like the main character of a movie. Barbershop, it was a huge movie, but I had a much smaller role in that compared to freshman year. You know, because you could watch Barbershop and see me, and you might be like, "Yeah, you look familiar." Like I've seen you somewhere, but with freshman year, it's like, "Nah, you was that guy from Netflix." Like I seen your movie. So it's probably definitely freshman year, I would say. What's good, Miles?
And again, that soundtrack, the soundtrack too, because you did the music on the soundtrack. So people definitely can see both and or listen to both and differentiate the truth and say, okay, that's him, because it's definitely recognition.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fashion dolls. It is about that time. We've answered all the questions for Diallo. It is time for something called the Rapid Five. And he has to tell me 5 things that Diallo can't live without. And then in the next segment, we're going to turn the tables. So Diallo's going to ask Miss Stevie some questions. She gets put in the hot seat. So nothing is off limits. So Lord knows what he's going to ask me. My heart beating so fast, y'all. But go ahead, Diallo. 5 things you can't live without.
I can't live without music. I can't live without shrimp, which is my favorite food. I can't live without my family. I can't live without my car. I live in Atlanta, so you need a car to get around. Um, I can't live without my laptop. That's like my blood. And then I can't live without my camera either. I can't live without my camera. I need that. Was that 5?
Yep,
Cool,
that's fine.
cool, cool,
All
cool.
right, fashion dolls, it is time to turn the tables. And Diallo's about to ask me some questions. I do this with my guests all the time. Thank God Johnny isn't here because he will be joining in, tag teaming as well, trying to get all up in my business. So take it away, Diallo.
Okay, okay. So the first question is, do you actually work with clients as far as the hair goes, like in person, like, or do you have like a store that people could go to?
As far as doing hair, because that's everybody's looking at my hair and they're just like, oh my God, who does your hair? I do my own hair. That's the secret. And I'm licensed to do hair as well too. So it's been very difficult again with us to have to do this in the middle of this thing going on. So I
Mm.
haven't really been doing clients, but I've just been doing more so like my close friends and family. So it's been great for me and I do it right out of my home. But I would love to open up a hair salon if that's what you're asking. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question to that. So if you worked with people's hair before, right? So what was one of the most memorable or craziest clients that you've had to work with where you're like, man, I don't think I'll ever work with that person again? Like, you don't have to say names, but, do you have like a story or something like that?
It's a relative and she's no longer here, bless her soul.
Mm.
But I would have to say my sister. I would definitely have to say my sister. She gave me a run for it. This was just after I graduated from beauty school. She wanted me to put some highlights in her hair. And I said, what color are you trying to achieve? And she was trying to go for like this platinum blonde, sort of like, let's see, Sierra, how Sierra has her hair colored. She wanted something like that. I said, girl, we can only take you but so high. And she didn't really want to sit up under the dryer. So she definitely gave me a run for my money. My mom is the same way. They do not like that hair dryer. But if you want to get that light, you have to go up under the hooded dryer. So yeah, God bless my sister's soul 100%. She definitely did. But I've never really had any outside of that. Just my sister. Uh-oh. We can add Alo back. I think it might have kicked him, but yeah, we're still in the turn the table segment. I hope you guys, you fashion dolls, are enjoying this interview. I truly am. 4 p.m. Also, we have another special guest coming on. Blue Harmony will be joining me and Johnny at 4 p.m. So make sure y'all tune in for that. But we're still in the turn the table segment. So Ala's going to finish asking me some questions.
Okay,
And we're
I'm
back.
back. Yeah, some Meek Mill song kept playing on Instagram. I was like, what's going on?
Yes, you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. What was my next question? What would you like for your business to go to in the next 10 years? Like what is like the heights of like what you'd like to see this thing go to?
I see myself with my own network. Like Oprah has her own network. So I see myself with my own network for the unapologetic Black experience. And I would want content creators like ourselves, because you also have your YouTube channel and you do your, how can I say it? It's sort of like a show. You have your show on there as well too, which we'll get to in a minute. But I see myself having a network where everybody, including myself, ourselves, Black content creators in general, whether it's horror, comedy, romance, whatever it is, and then my show on there as well too, giving the opportunity to other Black content creators. So that's where I see myself in the next 10 years, having my own television network.
Nice. Well, hey, you never know, because I want to have a production company and you want to have a TV network. So, hey, you never know what could happen, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think that's all the questions I have. If I think of any, I can ask, but that's all I got for
Oh,
now.
someone says, I'm a big fan of you after freshman year. See,
Thank you. I think your name is Aditi. Appreciate that. Make sure you spread the word.
absolutely. And my question for you is, before we wrap up this interview, because it's so good, I had such a good time.
Yeah.
YouTube. You've got your series on there as well too, and I kind of seen some of the skits. I was going through the Instagram, and it was a clip of you jogging, and then they throw a bag over your head, and I seen
Yeah.
the blood and everything. I'm like, oh my god! So tell us a little bit about the series. How did you get into creating your own series?
Well, I mean, like I said, I've always been into like shooting skits and shorts and stuff growing up. And I have a group of friends that I met in acting class back when I was like in middle school. And we've been friends ever since. So we kind of just got together and, we came up with a skit idea. First, it just started off as an idea. We shot it, we edited it, and we was like, man, this turned out really good. So we just started making more and more and more, and I think we have a couple that we haven't released yet, and then we want to have like a season 2. And actually, one of my goals is to create an actual web series where, because right now they're kind of like I would compare it to like maybe Black Mirror-esque or Twilight Zone-esque, where each episode is like a different scenario. And they're like kind of off the wall. Like the one you saw, was kind of like a mafia type of situation where I was captured, and the people that was capturing me was my family, but I'm a police officer now, and we, I have a couple other ones with like a serial killer one. I have a one, there's like each one is different, but I actually want to create one that's a full web series that has a continuous story. I'm working on it now. So I don't want to give out too many details yet until I really get it right. But I'm really excited about that. But right now, I think we have 6 different episodes up on my YouTube channel. And for y'all who don't know, my YouTube channel is just my name, which is Diallo Thompson. So if you type that into the YouTube, it's gonna pop up, and then it should be like the last 5 videos that I posted. So yeah, that's just an example, like, stuff that me shooting it. I shot all of them, edited all of them, the sound, the soundtrack, the coming up with the ideas, all that stuff. So, that's just part of it. I love the creation of this, of film and TV in general. I don't have to be in front of the camera to enjoy myself. So yeah, I mean, definitely check it out. I also have some music videos I'm going to be dropping on my YouTube channel as well. So if anybody wants to check it out and support, man, I would definitely appreciate it. So.
And we got some more comments. They're still talking about freshman year. Someone said, can we have a second part of freshman year? I want to see the baby. And someone said,
it's coming soon. It's coming. It's coming. Trust me. It's going to be senior year. So
I am in love with you in the movie freshman year. So that has been the most popular one that people have recognized you for, and Kenny and Barbershop as well too. So yes, that just covers the question that I wanted to ask you about freshman year. Will there be a sequel to it? So the people wanted to know.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the producer, we've been in contact, and he's definitely working on a sequel. He wants to call it senior year, and he already posted about it and stuff. So it's cool with me saying it or whatever, but he's still working on it, with the pandemic and everything. It's just, kind of put a wrench into everything, you know what I'm saying? So, some things are out of your control. So it would be completely up to him. I'm just the actor, but he's definitely actively working on getting that sequel done. And whenever we start shooting it, I'm gonna post about it, and I'll let all of my supporters know, and hopefully everybody goes out and supports that just as much or more.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, Fashion Dolls, our interview is coming to an end. Do we have any last questions for our very special guest today, Diallo Thompson, ladies and gentlemen? Like, I can't believe I'm sitting right in front of you because I just was watching Barbershop, the next cut, yesterday. And I seen you on there with Michael T. Rainey from the Power Book. So make sure you guys go and support him as well. To support all of the actors, support Diallo and subscribe to his YouTube channel. And stay tuned and make sure you're following what he's doing. Go and follow.
Definitely go support Natalia as well. She played my girlfriend in freshman year. So go follow her, show support to her as well. Amazing actress. Like you said, Michael Rainey, I'm sure you guys are already supporting him. He's a superstar. So he's great. He's cool person. One of the coolest people I ever worked with directly. So make sure y'all go support everybody, all young Black creators, and we can continue to grow and keep making new things and usher in this new generation,
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. All right, Fashion Dolls, if we don't have any questions, we are going to put this interview to an end. Special thanks to our very, very, very special guest, the one and only Diallo Thompson. Please go and subscribe to his YouTube channel and follow him. Coming up 4 p.m., make sure you guys tune in for the main show. We're going to be talking about beauty and body image today, as well as we got another special guest. Beautiful songstress Blue Harmony will be joining us from the Philly area, so make sure y'all tune in for that. We love y'all and take care, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Great interview. I enjoyed it.
All right, and we definitely look forward to having you back in the future. Just let me know when. I'd love to have you back on.
All right, sounds good. See you guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Diallo Thompson. Take care, everyone. See you guys at 4.